just me today. You have just Bobby, no Aaron, unfortunately. And boy, do I ever feel like I don't have a ground underneath me when I don't have Aaron underneath me. Okay, you know what I meant. Anywho, hello everyone. Welcome to Universal Connections. Today we are talking mediumship because we got me and I'm a medium. So, woohoo, there's Aaron. Hello, Aaron. See, she's always with me. Hello, Brenda. How are you today? All right, now today, before we get started, hello, Sarah. Sarah says hello to everyone. I think that's wonderful. Today, before we get started, we're going to start talking. Hello, Verna. We're going to start talking about, for some reason, hello, Cassandra. Hello, Allison. You found us. She's still with you. Anywho, actually, it could be because she is still with you that you found us. Anywho, I would like to say, and she's probably not watching right now, but I'm going to say it anyway. Happy birthday to Carol, because it is my friend Carol's birthday today. So happy birthday, Carol. All right. Happy Sunday. Thank you, Denise. Hello. Hello, Amanda. All righty then. So today we are going to do readings. And if you have a question, you are more than welcome to put it in the comments. Honestly, try not to be too, thank you. I knew she would. Thank you, Cassidy, for finding it for Allison. Hello, Chantel. It is wonderful. Well, I was going to say it's wonderful to see you, but I cannot see you. It's wonderful to have you here. That's what I will say. Okie dokie. Now, I just got to make sure I'm moving up with you guys. All right. Now, so today I actually thought we were going to talk about goddesses, to be perfectly honest, because I had a whole thing all planned out, but that actually got a little bit derailed. And I actually, from a who's it? Oh, hello, Lisa. Is it Lisa Mary or is it Lisa? I'm not sure. Anyway, so, and I'll bet you I said it incorrectly, didn't I? I always say, who said incorrectly? I think I put in the L and the L's not supposed to be there, but I apologize if I mispronounced it. But yeah, I actually heard someone pronounce Nanaimo. That was from another part of Canada, and it was the most hilarious pronunciation I've ever heard. It's like phonetically spelt, but whatever. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Now, okay, we're just going to start because Sarah's already asked us a question, and Sarah has a warm place in my heart. So we're going to start because Sarah, and her question even has a warm place in my heart. Okie dokie. So we're going to start right there. And I'm going to try to answer everybody. And I'm going to try to answer everyone in a row. That's my goal. Wish me luck, everybody. Okie dokie. So, Sarah, your dad. I actually see your address number, and I'm not sure why. It could be that I see an address number. I honestly would put the number 17 within the address number. I'm not entirely sure what that means. Of course, when we do a reading, especially with people on the other side like this, and I don't get a feedback from a person, then a lot of things can seem and be ambiguous, especially with people on the other side. Because when people on the other side actually communicate with me for someone to someone, if that makes sense, when they tell me something, they actually tell me something in a way that you would actually tell your family. You know, families have little private jokes, little private looks, little privacies. It continues when they cross over. And so when they communicate with the medium, sometimes people on the other side, their communications can seem quite ambiguous to the medium, but they will make sense to you. I hope that makes sense. Okie dokie. So having said all of that, Sarah, I honestly would want to say 1735, and I really, really hope that's not your address. But there's something about numbers that he's showing, and a 1 and a 7 are very, very, very much strong in there. 17 is actually a very big number for myself. It is my birth date. So I see 17 a lot. I'm not even sure of the meaning of the number 17 in the angel numbers or in an angel book. So you might want to look that up. It might even be stronger within the idea of numerology rather than angel numbers, being that numerology is ancient. There's something about your hands. They're your tools. Your hands are your tools. Oh, interesting. The way your dad wants me to put it is your hands are your tools, your brain is not. But I think you and I both know what he might be getting at there, having to do with your hands and the thing that resides beneath your skull, without giving up too much of your personal information there. So Okay. I actually think there might be an opportunity for you, Sarah, and you might have to look up. You actually might have to see that what comes out of your hands might be much bigger than you and might be something that is for not just you, but for everyone, if that makes any sort of sense. It's like my gift. It's not just for me because otherwise I get all I have to actually put the information out to people in order for new information to come in. I think that's the same with anyone with a gift. You must use it to allow it to grow and to allow for more gift to come through. Okie dokie. No, we got a lot of people. So, okay. So now after I've just done all that for Sarah, and I hope that makes some sense, Sarah. Alrighty. I really do. Okay. I'm going to say hi to some people and I'm going to start with you, Denise. Hello, Denise. Welcome. Hello, Chantel. I know we've said hello and I know we've said hello to Allison, such a groovy lady. Hello, Lisa. Hello, Sarah. We already talked. Amanda. Okay. You know what? Oh, yeah, I will. I'll do that. Hello, Jerry. Hello, Cassandra. Oh, Mary, we already talked. Hello, Christy. Hello, Chantel, we said hello. Hello, Nicole. Oh, Nicole loves Callum. What a great, Nicola loves Callum. What a great name. What's your super name? Hi, Pat. Hello, Linda. Hello. I hope I say this correctly. Nikita or Nikita? Nikita's usually with an I, so with an E. I don't know if it's Nikita or if it actually is Nikita. So I apologize if I've mispronounced your name. I've got such an easily pronounced one because Bob. Michelle, hello. Hello, Leslie. And I think I've said hello to everyone. Have I said hello to everyone? I think I have. Okay, down we go back to the questions. All right. Now, Amanda, you were next. Amanda would like to know. Okay. Oh, I like this. Amanda heard an auditory voice. I hope it's okay if I put your questions up. It makes it easier for me. It was like one of my kids standing in front of me, but they were sleeping, who was speaking to me. Oh my gosh, Amanda, I'm so glad you asked this question. Amanda, I believe you might have an earthbound spirit in your home. Because okay, I lived with an earthbound spirit for a little while, and this information is actually firsthand, but also it has been reiterated throughout my years as a medium. When I was 16 years old, my father crossed over. We moved into a house in Nanaimo, and my God, was it haunted. It was so haunted. Partly, I actually believe we helped to attract the activity because of the high state of mourning we were in. That apparently is something having to do with you. And it could even be, Amanda, that you're either in a high state of mourning and that is what is allowing the activity, or you actually might be dabbling or experimenting and that might be bringing activity into your house. But activity definitely is, because earthbound spirits, they're the ones that do that. They will mimic the voice of somebody in the house so that when you go, and it's so funny because I was just talking to somebody about this yesterday, when you go to investigate the sound of the voice, you suddenly realize, oh my God, I'm alone. And you kind of freak out a little bit inside of yourself. It's a scary moment. And that scary moment is the thing that they're counting on, because when they scare you, they actually can feed off of you. That's actually what I call it, feeding off of you, because frightening you brings your vibration to a level of, well, fear, which is something that lower level spirits or other type of entities enjoy. They enjoy hurting you. They enjoy scaring you. So they will yell a name. Actually, sometimes it's a name. In our household, it was, sometimes it would happen in the middle of the night. You could hear somebody else who lived in the house actually saying your name, but saying your name with a certain amount of fear involved in it, or what's the word I'm looking for? When something is very, very, very important. Importance. You know what I mean? I think. I hope. Okie dokie. Because they like to make you feel fearful, and they like to wait till you're either the only person in the house or the only person awake in the house, so that you have no other human beings to actually go, oh, that was scary, wasn't it? Or I didn't hear that. Did you hear that? I don't think I heard that, because, logicking it away. So I want to say you need to smudge your house, because I'm hearing that, but then I'm seeing salt lamps. So you might want to do both, or you might want to do the one that actually makes the most sense into your heart and soul. I would actually kind of do both. And what I would also do is I would ask the angels to bless your home and ask for only white light to come in, because you don't want to close it off. You just don't want the troublesome things to come in. They're like vermin. They like spiders. If there's the tiniest little hole for them to come in, they will come in, and they actually look like spiders. All right. I hope that helps, Amanda. So I hope it helps. Okie dokie. Now, Raina, and I hope I said your name correctly. It looks very much like Raina, so I hope I'm correct. And Raina would like to know if there's anything from her grandpa, and specifically, somehow, some way, I kind of think that your grandpa's new over there. Okay, so first, actually, what I will say to you is they make it look like either your grandfather was predeceased by your grandmother or predeceased by another female. That female, I do not think is his sister. And that's a strange thing to be so definitive, but I would actually, she shows me she has the same last name as your grandfather, and that is a way that they kind of try to show the relationship they have, because not everyone gets the same last name as each other for certain reasons. So that would make sense with them, not it a sister, it not being a sister. Anywho, he's okay. He shows me a dog, and he shows me, I think it looks like a little boy, to be perfectly honest. It looks like he's with a little boy. And I don't know, if you actually held his hand while he crossed over, or while waiting for him to cross over, and then when you left, he did cross over, or that you in some way feel that you're not being there gave him a lack of hope, or there's something like that, because what he's showing me a hand on a bed. So like if I was laying on a bed and I can look down at my hand, and then he's showing me a hand slipping out of that hand. And then he shows me when my father was in the hospital, when my father was in the hospital, dying of a brain aneurysm, and I was by his bedside, I lost control of myself and had to be pulled away from his bedside. And I actually thought that was why he crossed over not long after that. And I don't know if you feel that too, but I feel very, very emotionally strong with that. And I'm not sure if that lands in some sort of obscure way. Maybe you weren't there to say goodbye or something like that, but he's marking that. And I have since learned that had nothing. My dad came to me after that and pretty much let me know that he was leaving. He didn't speak because he wasn't quite able. I wasn't able to hear, and he wasn't able to do it. But okie dokie. This is gonna sound so cheesy, but he said it, not me. Look for me in the wind. Honest to goodness, that's what he said. And on a little part of me makes me think that your grandfather was one of those grandfathers who used to say, "Pull my finger." I hope that's the funny he's making, because it kind of felt like that. So I hope that helps. It was ambiguous in my opinion, but I hope that helps. Okie dokie. Okay, now Jerry. Jerry Garrison. Jerry has a question. Everyone, I have a question. I have recently made some big decisions for my life. How does that stand with those on the other side? Oh, who do you think told you to do it in the first place? That's actually what I'm hearing. And I actually think, I don't know if you feel there's some sort of betrayal on your part, or something that you are going against what this person would want if they were still here. I am supposed to say they're not still here, actually. And I think it might have something to do with you actually answering something inside of you that you would not have answered otherwise. And it's a good idea. They also, I don't know, are you reading cards for people? Because that's what that looks like to me. I don't know, but you're doing something like this. And they say that's good. And then they show you, instead of pointing your energy towards the water, they show you pointing your energy towards the mainland. So I'm not quite sure exactly what that means, but I bet you know exactly what that means. So I hope that makes some sort of sense to you. And he says hi. Sorry. And he loves you, and it's his fault too. I hope that makes some sort of sense. I actually kind of think I know what that all means, but it's not my business to tell other people your business. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Now, Cassandra would like to know if there's anything for her, maybe her mother, maybe her brother, or maybe her grandma. I like the way you did that, mother, brother, or grandma, because you can have all three of them come through if we were doing a 1 hour reading. But since we're doing it this way, and we're quickie-ing it, the one that's going to come through is the one. I think it's your brother, because I just heard the one that comes through is the one that means the most to you. And mom doesn't have to say that. She just knows it. She just comes through. And I think actually, I think your brother may be trying to communicate with you in some sort of regard. I think you're looking for something. It could be that you're looking for confirmation from him, but he says you're looking for something, and I think it has to do with him. So it could be confirmation. You're looking for something that says that he is visiting you. He's your brother. That's what I'm supposed to say. Now, I do not have a brother, but my daughters have a brother, and I know how he would communicate with them, and it might not be all that kind. Well, kind, but there might be gross smells. Let me put it that way, because that's kind of something that your brother might be indicating, that when he comes, I don't know that he actually makes a smell of a fart, so you know for sure it's your brother. What he does is something that you know for sure it's your brother, and I don't know if he's speaking in your ear or there's something about your ear, but it's something here. And he loves you. And he says, thank you, because I actually think you're doing something in regards to his legacy. It could be his children. I'm not quite sure. It looks very much, when he visually puts it in my head, it looks like when people have a commemoration for somebody on the side of the road. But that is very often just seen as a legacy, something that you're commemorating the fact that I lived at one time, and this is how I crossed over. Okie dokie. Wondering if and I hope that helps. And honestly, goodness, if I missed something, or if I didn't quite get what you were talking about, you're actually more than welcome to correct me. Yeah, absolutely. That would be crazy. Hello, Kirsty. Kirsty's a newbie. Okie dokie. Now, Lisa says, wondering if her nephew Travis, Damon Thomas Travis, is here. Okay, so I'm not quite sure if I totally understand that. But what I do hear right away is always with you. And then I hear that you know it too. And then I actually see, oh, man, because the other side has been very, 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 very active lately. I don't know if everyone else is having a lot of activity, but I sure am. I mean, the amount of dimes that I am finding, and I see, because I can pick, okay, there's two. Oh, there's another one. I'm finding them everywhere. I'm finding them between towels in the bathroom. I love it when they do it like that, because it's unmistakable that they put them in there. And I actually think, Lisa, but it's different for you. It's different because I actually think you get a lot of signs on the inside of your body. I talk about this a lot, and because it seems that when they come in, they actually can, but there's something missing. There's something more. There's something different. And I don't quite, was he different? Was he very, very, was he in touch with himself? Yeah, did he know what he was? Was he a man of faith? Because Neff, Travis, Damon, Thomas, Travis is here. So is Travis with you? Okay. So whomever it is that we are connecting for you, I'm not going to put a name on them because I'm kind of confused by your comment or your question. What I will tell you is he shows me this in your heart. He shows me also you walking down the street. It's a certain street here in Courtney, but he shows you walking down the street. It's a street that actually, one side of it is rural and the other side of it is city. I don't know if that means anything, because I think of that street as a juxtaposition. It is like it's between two worlds, kind of. It's like if you were on a street that one side's in Courtney and one side's in Comox, and that is a possibility in this darn area. So it's something like that. And I don't entirely know what he's talking about. It could actually be that you're at a crossroads right now, where you could be on one side of the street or the other side of the street. And when he wants to tell you what he needs you to know, you feel it right here. You feel it in your heart. And you actually might also be getting it in your nasal cavity. To me, that means you're so clairsentient. And it could also mean that clairsentience is the way that this person can communicate with you, because of the love that you share. Because the love we share is actually the vehicle that that the communication rides upon, if that makes any sort of sense. I hope that makes sense. Okie dokie. Now, also again, Lisa, if that is way too ambiguous, none of us get it, then please let me know. Okie dokie, because clarification can always happen because I'm human. Okie dokie. Now, Christy's a newbie. Hello, Chantel. Thank you very much for the clover and the heart. Hello, hi. Okie dokie. Now, okie dokie. Now, Pat would like to know, this is a great question because I think we all go through this. Pat wants to know if there's any reason for her to be thinking that something is off. Okay, I actually hear maybe it's you. That's actually the first thing I hear. And I actually hear a certain name right after I hear maybe it's you. And I don't know, did you feel something was off when you were taking your garbage out the other day? That would be 2 weeks ago. But that's what I'm seeing. I'm actually seeing you put the garbage cans out, and I'm seeing a certain somebody standing behind you, or the personification of that certain somebody that I am accustomed to speaking to. I speak to a certain person for Pat, and I have spoken to him so many darn times that I feel as though I know him, because it's not even just with Pat. Anyway, he's a very popular fellow, and he's a very, very, very strong spirit who actually, every time Pat is with us, that spirit is with us, and I feel them before I even feel Pat. So knowing how strong that person is and how much Pat wants to actually keep that communication and connection and love going between her and this person who was on the other side, I actually think you can feel him. And I think you can feel him in a way you could not before, because they say because of the work you do. So you must be doing something that is actually making you more susceptible. I also believe too, I think you think it's linked to your husband, and I think you're not wrong, honestly. I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's this particular person talking to you, but I do believe he's trying to tell you to pay attention to something. And it has to do with with your husband, I think, a little bit. And I think it has to do with his sacral chakra, or around his sacral chakra, which is the chakra right below the belly button and above the tailbone and pubic area. It's our family chakra. It's the little kangaroo pouch that you're stuck with after you have some children's. For gentlemen, I actually find if I see something in the sacral chakra, it might have to do with prostate health. And prostate health, like uterine health, I believe, has everything to do with the circling and the moving and the growing of things. That's why, wait for it, masturbation is so damn important. Okie dokie. So, okay, don't be worried, but be aware. That's what it is, Pat. Don't be worried, but be aware. And I kind of think you knew. That's what I'm being told from Warren. Okie dokie. Okay, Linda, we're thrilled for you to be here too. Grandfather Johann Werner. What a great name, Backlund. Okie dokie. Johann Werner. Was he an explorer, or was he the settler? Was he a pioneer? I'm actually even seeing the name Nellie McClung. Do you even know who Nellie McClung is? If you were in school, you would. Okay, so okay. Something may have happened when you were driving, or he may actually drive with you. It's either that or okay, I actually think you want to know about him. The way he's showing me, it's like we're sitting in your car with you and you're talking to him, and you're saying that you want to know more about him. I don't know if this is an actual moment that has happened in your life, or if this is something because people from the other side actually talk to us in our cars a lot. They talk to us in our cars, and they talk to us in the bathroom mirror. And they do it because you're focused. You're this way. You're not distracted by all the things. We're the most distracted generation on the planet. Well, how do I know? I don't know all the other generations, but we're really distracted. Most of us actually are paying no attention whatsoever to what is actually going on right in front of us at this time, because we have one of these darn things in our face. But when you're driving, you certainly don't. or you get a big fine. So they talk to us when we're driving. When you're grooming yourself in the morning, they talk to us too. But this is a driving thing, it seems. I don't know if you actually drive the same route every, like, back and forth from work, and that is where he says hello to you. Because okay, so I used to actually get a lot of messages when I was driving, because I was driving so much because my kids were so involved. So I was dropping this kid off here, driving that to so I was in my car all the time. So I myself used to ask my spirit guides to give me little messages. I didn't really ask my dad to give me messages because he'd be in the passenger seat and I was aware. Um, I was even when there was a kid there. Anywho, so the way that your grandfather is showing it, he actually shows himself in the back seat right behind you. He's not in the passenger seat. He's more like you're his driver rather than you are. Yeah, because it's different. It's different. It's different because you're driving a car, and he's a grandfather, and I'm not calling him a sexist. I'm calling him a man of his time. Anywho, but he says behind you, not in the passenger seat. One could think that would be, yeah. And I think behind you because he thinks he's driving as well. And I actually think he might even give you tips in some way or talk to you while you're driving. Oh, yeah. The thing that I need to tell you is that when I would go and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, what I would do is I would ask my spirit guides to impress me with certain things. I would ask for Christmas lights when it wasn't Christmas time. I would ask to see this many of this, and I would make it so that it could be easy and obvious. Because if you say to your spirit guides, can you show me 5 black birds? You could see a raven, you could see a crow, you could see a picture of a blackbird, you could see a blackbird pie, things like that. So he wants you to suspend your disbelief. He wants you to believe he is there because they actually think you do, but there's a little part of you that doesn't. And he wants you to talk back because I think you know he's there. And I actually think that's why you've even asked about him particularly. And I think that you either are attracted to knowing more about him because you actually want to know more about who you are as a human being, or he is trying to get you to try to want to know more about the family. I don't know if you're doing like a family tree thing or if he actually wants you to. And because he makes it look like he's important, like really important. He actually puts himself up with Malaspina, which that's why the college used to be called Malaspina, because the explorer Malaspina landed here when they were, in other people's houses. Anyway, okie dokie. Hey, hello. I hope that helps, Linda. I hope it makes some sort of sense. I feel like I went down the road and around the corner. Okie dokie. Chantel would like to know. Oh, I'm sorry, Kirsty. I skipped over you and I went to Chantel. I'll go right back to you, Kirsty, after Chantel, and I apologize. Okie dokie. You're on the right track. And I don't know if this person is actually your mom on the other side or someone from your mom's line who puts herself in a mom kind of category for me so that I understand who she is, because she actually could be your grandmother, your mother's mother, or it could be your mom and your mother's mother. Or I actually just heard it could be neither. So both of them could be actually still here, but I don't. But it has to do with mom energy, and it has to do with the mom thing. That you're doing the right thing. Keep going. Whatever it is you're doing, they actually show it like you're making your way through, and you can't quite see where you're going. You just have to trust that you're going in the right place. And you can hear us too. Well, everyone can hear they're dead, but I actually think that you can hear them in a different kind of way. And psychometry. Interesting. I don't know if you wear something, it might actually help you to link with people on the other side if you hold an item of theirs. That's what psychometry is. When we do psychometry, somebody actually brings me something that was once worn or owned by a person who was on the other side, and that's how I connect with them. It can be really helpful if you're not actually related to the person. But Anywho, I don't know if you are actually trying psychometry or you're trying something having to do with gleaning ideas off of objects. Whatever it is that you're doing, you are absolutely on the right track. And it's the blind are leading the blinder than that. That's how they put it. And I get that one a lot. The blind leading the blinder than that is that you are being led by somebody or something or being compelled to do something, but you don't know where you're going. You are actually blind to the result, and you are actually being led by someone who doesn't know what the outcome is going to be either. Because we cannot measure this outcome, whatever it is. And honestly, I don't know if you're a practitioner, Chantel, or if you are a person who just studies metaphysics within their own selves. But I think whatever it is you're studying, you're on the right track. And if you, okay, supposed to tell you to keep trying, keep going, keep trying, keep going. So, and I'm not quite sure if that actually means your communications with them or your abilities or a coupling of both. But I think that you are actually, quite honestly, creating more of a strong connection within the family line with what the family is able to do. I believe I am doing the same thing. And I believe that is actually a responsibility that all of us share, honestly, all of us share. Look at my new cup. I love it. Look who's on the back. Woo! Yeah, it's Dorothy. She's the grooviest. Okie dokie. Now, Kirsty. Kirsty. Okay, and message from a loved one. Nice and ambiguous. Okie dokie, Kirsty. I don't know if this is actually your dad or if it is a dad-like person or a person from your dad's side. I don't know why they're doing it this way, but they're doing it this way. I can't control them. Okie dokie. So, you know, when people are like, whoa, look at the money. That's what it looks like he's doing. So I don't know if actually you're going to get an inheritance. I don't know. He actually I heard the word inheritance. So it could even be that you inherited money and this person is saying, look, I left you money. You inherited money from me. And that is actually how they are identifying themselves to you. Or, yeah, they make it all look very, very, very officially. And I don't know if that is something that is actually happening. I have no confirmation. Okay. Now, I don't know if you are the baby or if you have a baby, because I asked this person, what do you want to say to her? And then they showed what I have as a visual of you. And there's a baby being held. The baby is in a blue blanket. So it's not you. Because you're a girl, I just assume from your name that you are a female, and that your blanket would be pink or yellow. But no, not yellow. It would be pink. It would be pink or blue, because actually that's the way they do it. And I don't know if they're going to start doing plaid, but yellow signifies something different for a baby. So, okay. He also gives me binoculars and tells me that he's watching you. I don't know if this is your dad. I kind of hope it is, because the way that he makes it look, it's like he is saying, I left you money. I see that you have a baby boy and I am watching you. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if you have a baby boy. I don't know if he left you money. But I do know he's watching you. That's one thing I know for certain. I could be misinterpreting the baby and I could be misinterpreting the money, but he does say the word inheritance. So I hope that makes some sort of sense. Anything, I think, Michelle, you mean anything for me today, or any for me today. Oh, fudge sakes. Honestly, I gotta say the first things that come into my mind, but then I gotta say this. You're on the right track. Jeez, Lou. I could have sworn I just said that twice to two other people. That's the first thing that popped in my head is you're on the right track. This is the right way for you. Okie dokie. You may want to root yourself. You may want to ground yourself. I have such a problem with grounding and rooting. And honestly, I think a lot of mediums do, because one other medium, Ori, that I know really well, I've always watched her go, oh, grounded. And then she finds her grounding, and then she finds her place, because we need our grounding. We absolutely do. And I totally agree with it, because if you're not grounded, you can't hear everything the way you need to hear it. So I actually think that's something that is missing for you. It's the way that they're putting it. And it could also be too that they want you to focus through like this, because they're showing right now it's like, and I'm like that, totally like that. It's a very big, everything is something all at once all the time. And I actually think it might be how your mind works. You might want to start making lists, or you might already make lists, but you might want to adhere to that part of you. And it's, you seem like a very much of a I want to say a firework or a dragon, but not in a bad way dragon. Like, you seem like me. So you actually might need some grounding. Yeah, it's weird. Okay. Okay. Sometimes I don't know that you can see the forest for the trees. If you start to ground yourself and start to focus, I actually think that all of everything that you can hear turns into one voice rather than many, 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 many voices. And that seems kind of strange, but I gotta go with what I hear. Okay, okay. Hello, hello, Nikita. I hope I said your name right, Nikita. Hello, Leslie. Hello, Sarah. For my little bear, or anyone that crossed over, I hope that okie dokie. Is that significant? Is that 1 to 7? Yes, of course it's significant, Allison. And in fact, Allison, you have not asked a question, but I'm supposed to say something to you. Okay. They are looking at your horse's feet. You pick it up when when you clean the bottom of his feet. They're showing me it's Bob that I'm seeing, but I see Bridie next to him. So I don't know. That could mean so many things. It actually could mean that actually his feet are getting picked right this minute. Could very well be that, because I don't think it's an ailment. Yeah. Okay. So sometimes at the front, you talk about a split or something like that. That's what I'm pay attention to the front of his foot. Damn it. Okie dokie. And look behind you. Okie dokie. They said look behind you. I just have to say that. Okay. Okie dokie. So, Nikita. This is strange, but I have to go with what I see first. Your brother comes in with a briefcase, and he hands a briefcase to you. I think it would be like you guys had a family business, and you actually have to do the family business because he went to the other side, but that almost seems like too obvious. Okay, he shows himself at the head of your bed, like not at the end of your bed, but where your head hits the pillow. So when they show themselves that, like that way to me, they're trying to say that they are actually in your dreams, or they're dreaming with you, is actually how he puts it. He says you don't always turn around to look at him. He loves you, and it's okay. He's okay now. I don't know if his passing was scary, but he says it was scary, because it could be so many things. And I don't know if that your brother went over there with faith, or if he went over there as an atheist and now he knows. I also believe he does something. I don't know what you do that goes here. I would think actually that maybe you have had a tarot reading or an angel card reading, or you read your own cards, and he has spoken to you in that way. That's what he's making it look like. So it could be that he is confirming that you have actually connected with him in another way, or it could, well, let me, okay. Trust me on this one. That's what he says. I don't get it. And I don't know if your mom and dad are still with us, but he is indicating them. So it could even be that he is just saying, you're with mom and dad, or that he has them with him, because honestly, it can almost look like the same darn thing, because they'll just show me somebody and I don't know. Um, uh, Okay, he keeps wanting to reassure you. It's okay. It's going to be okay. He's okay. And you know where he is, he says, because he has taken you there, he says, in his dreams. So, in your dream, sorry. And I I don't know if you have a son or if he has a son, but he might be communicating through that child. That child might say that they see him, and he says, "Whoops." He actually shows it like his butt was exposed. Sometimes they don't want the children to see them because it scares the children. They go, "Whoops, they saw me," think something like that. So that might be what he's getting at, because he's also showing himself at the end of a hallway. And honestly, I'm not sure if it's your son or his son or both. Maybe both. Who knows? And we don't want to leave the little girls out. Okay, okay. I hope that helps. I hope that makes some sort of sense, Nikita. Okie dokie. Excellent question, Denise. Denise would like to know if this is a good year to move to another house, because we never and we never quite know, do we? Oh yeah, you got a gut feeling about it. There's some sort of, they want you to follow your gut, and there also opportunity arises. So what they want confirmation. I think I don't know that you're going to get like very, very distinct signs, but I think you actually might get very, very distinct signs, because it might be that there's an opportunity for a waterfront home or something like that. And I think they put the waterfront home because who doesn't want to live on the water? Well, I'm sure there's somebody out there who doesn't want to live on the water. I don't know who they are, but that's what I am seeing. So they also say bide your time. And I don't know if you know a real estate agent, but there's something about the real estate agent. They actually might just come to you, and they might come to you rather than you go to them, and it all just kind of, oh well, this is the way it's supposed to be, I guess. That, I hope that makes sense. I seem to go blah, 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 I don't know, but yeah, I think what they're saying is bide your time. This year could, but an opportunity is going to tell you and expedite the whole situation for you. It's almost like a real estate agent comes to your door, knock, knock, knock. I'd like to sell your house. Oh, and there's this beachfront house you might want to look into as well. Wouldn't that be smashing? But and we'll see what it looks like that. Okay, wonderful. Sarah says it makes sense. Thank you, Sarah. I need the confirmation because I never know. Okay, excellent, Brenda. Who from the other side comes to see me? What signs are they giving me? I smell different odors a lot. Who is it? No one can smell anything but me. Oh, how smashing. Oh, you know what? Your spirit guides are trying to talk to you, because you are actually trying to open up and level up. And you do have, there's a grandmother that keeps trying to talk to you. And I actually just heard, don't forget me. You might call your grandfather Papa or something like that. You might shorten it into Gaga, Dada, something like that. Sorry, I have to get my fan. Okay. And okay, I don't know if you're actually having salt tubs, Brenda. You might be. I hope you are. Really, really do hope you are. If you're not doing salt tubs, you're doing something that is the equivalent to when I do a salt tub. So you are making yourself available for those who are out there to come and say hello to you. And I actually think you're making yourself readily available. I was going to say something different, but readily came out, because I actually think you're receiving an awful lot of communications, and they're not all like, give it that. Okay. All right. Well, okay. This is what I'm supposed to say. You're supposed to do shush everything else. Now, who's talking to me? Who is that? And do it like that. Like, try to focus in. And honestly, it's like the dime thing. When you find a dime and boom, a person flashes in your head, you can go, no, it wasn't them. But it probably was them, because that's the person who flashed in your head. It's like at the end of my readings, when I say, do you have any questions to the person? I actually already have the question in my head. I already know what they want the person to ask. It doesn't mean that they're going to, but it is what they want them to ask, or what they feel the question should be. 9 times out of 10, they do ask that question, and no matter what, I always give them that answer. So I think it's the same sort of thing with you, Brenda. I actually think what they want you to do is, when you find the dime or when you see the sign, the first thing that pops into the frontal lobe is the thing they want you to clop onto, because I actually think you're claircognizant. I think that you think it, you know it somehow. You don't quite know how, you can't figure out quite how. And I think the other evidences are coming now, because you're aware of what to look for. So good news here, because I actually think you're leveling up. I'm actually supposed to say this, and I'm sorry. The bad news is it's going to get worse before it gets better, which is actually kind of true. You actually kind of get a little with it, and then you get your grounding and you figure out how they're all talking to you, because they don't talk like on TV. They talk in our bodies. They talk in our emotions. They talk in the soreness here. They talk like they make lumps in your body go. They just they're everywhere. And so when they speak, it's not just relegated to the mouth. It's relegated, it's everywhere. It's the feelings. We do it too. We just don't actually acknowledge the fact that we do it. Oh, I pronounced Nikita correctly. Smashing. Okay, I hope that helps, Brenda. If it doesn't, give me poop and I'll do it again. Okie dokie. Lorianne, your health. Okie dokie. Your thyroid. I'm almost seeing it like it's growing, like it's out. And I don't even know if it actually is your thyroid that you're concerned about. But they say cycles. They also say balance. You need balance. You're out of balance. You are, oh, that's interesting. You might be putting out more than you're getting in. And I actually think that it is being displayed in your health. I think you might be constipated. I think you might actually feel in your tummy. And I actually think that, dizzy spells. Are all these things true? Anyway, the way that they want you to look at it, it has a lot to do with the fact that you feel a little torn asunder, that you feel a little pulled away. So they want you to give yourself some things. Okie dokie. It's interesting. I actually think that you are psychically connecting with your mom a lot. I think that you're thinking about her all the time. And when you think about her all the time, then your dad gets in on it. And then actually the two of you, it grows. And I think they say you work yourself into a state, because you start to think about it. And then, because if I get a message about one of my kids, I immediately go, what? Because I immediately, oh no, I'm getting the message. I must be worried. I need to be worried. There's something I need to be worried about, because that is automatically what we go to. So that actually might be happening, and it actually might be causing cycle weirdness in your body. And I know that sounds weird and ambiguous, but I think it's true. I think you need to hang out more with friends. I think you need to have fun, and I think you need to be with people who like you, because there are people who like you. Okie dokie. Okay, from Joe. Verna would like to hear from Joe. I don't know if you actually put a stocking up for Joe at Christmas, or you commemorated him in some way, and he's very happy about that, because it is helpful. It's kind of that's funny. It looks like Hunger Games in my head when he's showing me the other side. I don't know if you're familiar with the books. The people who are watching the Hunger Games could actually send food or medicine or something else to one of the poor children that is in this horrific thing. Your dad is making it look like you have blessed him, or you may have actually even burnt the food or burnt the clothes for him, but he's showing that you are making his creature comforts. You're helping him. You're giving him stuff. And actually the work you do, he says, it's in the work you do. Because you're helping other people, and within your work, it's interesting. Okie dokie. He also, I believe you create something, and I think he wants you to, he says international. And then he's showing me, I have another client who actually creates beautiful jewelry, and she actually sells more of that jewelry internationally than she does locally, because I don't know why. It's weird, but it's true. And you might, okay, set your sights higher. I actually see Scandinavia. I don't know. I'm terrible with the map. And you might know that, because if I see Qualicum, they might mean Mexico, or they might mean Qualicum. If I see Toronto, they might mean England. I don't know. I don't know why they do it like that. I kind of think because they just think this globe is so tiny. But yeah, Scandinavia is actually what I even hear it in my head from him for some reason. He loves you, and your mother too. And okie dokie. He wants you to pay more attention to him. I think you know that he's there, but I don't know that you're always, thank you for the dime, or hello, dad, or I'm so glad you're here. Because I think you know when he's there, but the acknowledgement of it, it will actually make it so that he's stronger and stronger and stronger and always gets to be there. Okie dokie. Now, all right. Now, Brenda, I hope I did tell you what you needed to know, but if I didn't, then yell at me, please. Okie dokie. It sounded like her 9-year-old. Okie dokie. I see. That makes that I can completely and absolutely believe that. Yeah. Yeah. Okie dokie. Now, Amanda had a voice in her house. If you are joining us now, when you were with us earlier and saw when I was talking to Amanda, she had a voice called to her from in her house. I don't know if any of you have had this happen where you heard someone call you, but you're all alone in the house. Then you go to where you heard the voice and there's no one there. And they always use a familiar voice in the house. They use somebody who you will listen to. Now, now with Amanda, because she has a child on the other side, and because the voice was a child, and the anniversary is coming up. Okay. All right. This is actually how I'm supposed to say it. And I actually think that we were a little bit on the money when we were talking about your grief. Just a little bit. That actually your grief over your loss is probably one of the most horrific losses anyone can ever suffer. Yeah, it is. I can't. Anyone tell me that there's a worse one? No, there's not. Losing your child. So, because it's so gut wrenching, because it's so thick and in you, gosh sakes. Whatever is in your house, I think, is evil enough to bank on those emotions, to play with your heartstrings in such a harsh way. I'll reiterate it. We need to smudge your house. We need to call angels in, because your child is a rested soul, and a rested soul need not strike fear in anyone's heart. So also too, give me poop if I'm wrong, but the feeling you got when you felt it was scary, I would think. Not, oh, wow, look, he's here. Because if it was your baby, you would be engulfed in love. You would be in a hug, because it's, how much power a person on the other side can have. So I think we need to smudge. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Nikki. Okay. She was not scared at all. That's funny. Okay. She answered and fell asleep. Okie dokie. So then if you're not scared at all, if it felt like a hug, then maybe it is him. It would be very, very odd. But maybe it is, but it would be very, very odd. And all the other factors make me, darn it. I'm sorry. Also, too, I think you're tough as nails. I think that you could be in the same house with a demonic sort of presence and go, I think I smell burning. Not much else. Okie dokie. Now, do I say it Fiola? Nikki? My Fiola? Yeah, that's a neat name. Fiola. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. First thing I hear is you're just like me. And I actually think what they're meaning is it might be your profession. I don't know if you're a writer, and I don't know if they're a writer, actually, because I actually saw writing right away. And it could be something that you're able to do that communicates, that gets an idea or a feeling or a concept out of your body and into a place where other people can experience it, because that would be writing. Writing is communication. Communication is like an all around sort of thing. There's something with your feet. She's showing you putting on good shoes. You look like you're putting on some Skechers. And if you're putting on Skechers, you're going for a walk. So and your shoes are not red. They are like a brownish sort of color. And that's where I get to the Skechers idea as well. So did I say brownish? I actually meant to say blue. Why did I say brown out loud? That's weird. Okie dokie. So usually if your shoes were red, it would have to do with grounding, in my opinion. The fact that they're blue and kind of like the sky blue of the throat chakra. Oh, okay. Your communication is your vehicle. Your communication will get you to where you need to be or what you need to do. Trust in you. And actually, sometimes when you're looking in the mirror, every now and again, you actually might see Grandma Viola. You might see your grandma's face some way, somehow. And she makes it look like she tries to do that. And she stands right behind you and she yells at you. And she doesn't yell at you in a bad way. She yells at you like, I'm here. Actually, that's what I hear. And there's something about your laundry, or I often make a joke that people will see somebody in the night and then blink their eyes enough and go, oh my God, it's just the laundry. Thank goodness. So that could be why she's talking about the laundry. It might be. I'm not quite sure why she's talking about the laundry. Okie dokie. But I'm supposed to say, I love you. Oh, I love you. I feel that love. She loves you. Yikes, my boobers. Wow. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Christy Cook. Hi, Haley. Okie dokie. Oh, it's very special to see you too, Carrie. I'm not glad you're sitting in your truck, but you're in your truck. That's strange. Okay. I hope you're warm. Okie dokie. Okay. Now, Haley has a question about her partner's new business venture. Career venture, I should say. Okie dokie. They show him like this. He's paddling. It looks like he's paddling a canoe, but you guys are on dry land. So I'm not quite sure exactly what that means. Okie dokie. I think it's a good thing. I do. They actually show you guys head down, let it go. Like whoosh, we're moving forward with what we're doing. Don't look around, just keep going with where you're going. It might be that sometimes when we start new careers, we start, should we keep doing this? Because, because it can be treacherous or a little bit difficult at first, but I actually think they want you to stay the course. And it makes it looks like the bathtub races from Nanaimo from 110 years ago, when people would actually be in a clawfoot bathtub on wheels and they would race each other, because there were many different sorts of factions of it, but there was that. And that's what it very much looks like, Haley. And I don't know if the bathtub and the paddle actually have anything to do with the career thing, and that's part of what they're saying to me. But I think they bank on it is actually what they say, which is kind of fun because it's a career. So I actually think it'll be good for him too in his heart, and make him feel stronger, and it'll heal some stuffs. Okie dokie. Oh, goody. Raina, we were on the money a little bit with you, I hope. It looks like we were. So yay. Okay. Okay. Is there a message from your mom, Leslie? Of course there is. That's actually what I heard. Why wouldn't there be? It's me. That's what your mom said. Which that sounds like me. Okie dokie. Your mom's touching her own feet. Is there something going on with your feet, or is she actually trying to symbolize her feet and something she's doing? It actually looks like when someone has their legs straddled and they're reaching to touch their toe. She's got her knee all bent and she's touching the feet. I don't know what she means by that. Usually, and I'm even asking her about this, if I see a parent grab a foot, it means that they want you to pamper yourself. They want you to do stuff for yourself. Now, your mom, as soon as I say that, goes like this. So I'm close. Now, this means I'm right. This means yes on the nose. This means, Bobbi, you're kind of in the ballpark a little bit. I actually think, Leslie, there might be more to this than meets the eye. I think it goes beyond the pampering thing. I think it actually might be medical, to be perfectly honest. But at the same time, this is coming from your mommy, and the way it feels, it's almost like when my mom says, you should cut your hair short, it looks so pretty with your face, and it's not going to happen because or like put your hair back. Sometimes mommies have these ideas of things they want you to do, and a lot of it is based on who they are rather than the actual need for it. So I am going to preface it with that, but the way your mom's making it look, I would almost even think your mom was a nurse, for goodness sakes, and maybe we should listen to her a little bit. I don't know if you actually are receiving a swelling in your feet or some sort of I don't want to say numbness or tingling because it doesn't quite, it looks almost like toxemia, like when you're pregnant and you get the big, the, that's toxemia, isn't it? I want to say it's something else, starts with a P. Anyway, you look a little bloated in the leg area, or fluids or something like that around the it's your circulatory system she wants me to get to. I actually think she wants you to do yoga. And I actually think, because honestly, too, I'm not sure about your mother's knowledge when it comes to yoga and things like that, because she looks like she's running through my head and grabbing onto a little bit of an idea here. But I actually think that it's walking sun salutations, things like that. That's interesting as heck, isn't it? I don't know if this is something that was on your radar, or if it's like, what is she talking about? What does that mean? So also too, if it's what is she talking about, then I actually could be interpreting it incorrectly. So what I see is your mom straddle position. She's grabbing the toe. She's showing me the foot. I'm kind of close when I talk about foot difficulties. She shows me also too that she makes the ankle really, really huge, like when a pregnant woman has, it is toxemia, isn't it? Anywho, so she's showing me all those things. Then I see you doing sun salutations. I see you going for walks, and I see you talking to people. So that is what I can see from your mommy. Also, too, when you are going for walks and you see the bird, I actually can hear it, which makes me think of either an eagle or a hawk. Because I actually heard the sound of an eagle, went, what? That's the sound of an eagle? I was surprised. So whatever bird you associate with her, because we all have a bird we associate with our parents that are on the other side, that will be on the walk. All these things kind of go together in one big shot. It's almost like your mom is, I would say, if I was going to put it all in a nutshell, that your mom wants you to spend more time with people. She wants you to chat more. She wants you to actually look at yoga. There's a medical thing going on having to do with that. Thank you. Sorry. And the birds are me. Okay, I hope that works. Okay, what signs are my husband giving me? What signs are my husband giving me? A compression in your bed, I actually think. It's either that or he's coming into your dreams in some sort of way. He shows himself laying in your bed next to you like this. Like he's just sitting. It reminds me of that spread of Burt Reynolds. I don't know if you've seen it, the Cosmos spread when he's naked. It looks like that, like he's watching you. He says, love me, I love you. I don't know why you'd say it like that. There might be something having to do with the dog, or there might be a dog. The dog that I'm seeing, it looks like a Pekingese, which does not mean that it is a Pekingese. It just means that whatever dog he's trying to show me, a Pekingese is something that comes into my mind to make me think of the type of dog. I know that's so ambiguous, and I apologize for that. He says he's new and he is learning the ropes and he's trying to figure things out. I don't know if it's his mom that's showing him, but there's somebody that is in a mom-like capacity. Could be his mom's mom or something like that, or just someone on his mom's line. And I don't know if you have a kid with him, but he actually might be telling you stuff through the kid, because the kid might be easier to get through. When he shows me your blinds are down, and I don't blame you whatsoever. When the blinds are down, they'll show me a house with the blinds down, and that means that you're mourning so much they can't even come in the house. But sometimes they'll show the blinds down, they'll pull them over our eyeballs, like the Flintstones, like when Fred Flintstone had the, I don't know if you ever watched it. Anyway, so when they pull those blinds down, what he's trying to show me is that you're mourning so hard. That I actually think is what he means when he says, love me, I love you. Oh, this is when someone crosses over, actually being okay with them being on the other side is kind of important. And I know that's just annoying to hear. And every time I say it to someone, I feel like I'm annoying for saying it. But it's actually the truth of the matter that, okay, yes, okay, thank you. I characterized it this way yesterday to a client. It's like if you go to a party and your loved ones keep texting you over and over again, why are you at this party? I can't stand that you're at this party. It's hurting my feelings that you're at a party having a good time. I wish you were with me, not at a party. That's kind of what we do to people who cross over. That's so incredibly natural. Of course, you're going to feel that way, especially considering we actually see death very like it's separating us, and it is. It's separating because we're so used to the physical form. So, but I'm sorry, it makes it easier for them if we can find a way or a place in our hearts to feel okay with the fact that they're there. And if you think about it in this way, you love them so much, know that they'll never be hungry, they'll never be cold, and they'll never be lonely. All those things that we feel here, they'll never feel that fear that we feel. They'll never feel that vulnerability because it's so protected and loving over there. So if that is any sort of help, I hope it is, because he really, really, really wants to be able to get in to see you. And actually, what I was supposed to say, he really, really, really wants to get into you. And I apologize for such a personal and intimate thing to be said to you over the internet. But I think if I hadn't said it the way he wanted me to, he would knock me in the forehead. Because I think that the communication that I give through me from him to you is incredibly it's so important. Important isn't the right word. It's so, oh God, it's a T word, isn't it? Yes. It's so honestly tumultuous, difficult, hard. It's just so, he loves you. And I don't know that he's really good at talking. Okie dokie. So I'm hoping, and actually too, give him ideas, give him things you want. And anytime you think it's a sign, acknowledge it as a sign. Even if you feel silly doing it, even if you actually don't think entirely that it's a sign, go, this could be a sign. This could be a sign from you. And I'm going to keep talking to you, and I'm going to keep believing you can do this with me. Okie dokie, because it actually will help him. Okie dokie. You're welcome, Jerry. And I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Okie dokie. Now, Kate. Hoping my father has something to say to me. Yeah. Immediately. Of course I do. It's almost like I'm on Donahue. Do you remember Donahue back in the olden days where people would actually go up to the microphones? It was more of a Sally Jesse Raphael. Donahue actually had the microphone, didn't he? Anyway, doesn't matter. So that's what I feel like. Like they're just like they're waiting. They know you guys have asked a question. They're just waiting in the back room. Okay. And Kate's father knew that she was asking a question. Huh. Kate, do I know your dad? and it might be your last name that is bringing this to me, but I don't know if I know your dad. I might know your dad. I'm not sure if I know your dad. I might know your dad, but I might. Yeah, I might. I actually might. And I don't know if his name is Larry. Okie dokie. And because if he is not Larry, then he is personifying himself as such, and maybe for a certain reason to get me to an idea of who he was as a human being, or maybe you're actually related to him. But okay, so, but I would think this is your married name. Anywho, but then actually, if it's your married name, then if Larry was your father-in-law, he would come through as dad, not father-in-law. Okie dokie. Okay. I am seeing you mend a fence. And I actually think it is, we're looking at the metaphor of mending fences, like that you are rebuilding something, rebuilding a relationship. I don't know if a relationship has eroded since he's crossed over, but it looks like, and you actually go all the way down the line of the fence. It's really strange. And it looks like a really, really long fence line. It could even be, he's telling you there's a hole in your fence. Wouldn't that be funny? But anyway, I think it's metaphorically speaking, because I think also the mending of the fences, because when we mend fences, then we know for sure we're secure. There's a little bit of that as well. And also, Kate, I don't know if you do this for a living, or you're on this a lot, or if you're actually having difficulties here, and he is showing me this to get me to the idea of when people have difficulties here in their hands, but I'm supposed to show you these. So to show you some wrist stretches, things that do you work at a desk for a living? Because he says things you can do at your desk. And he says him. And so I don't know for certain if actually it was his heart chakra that was the thing that actually led to his leaving us, but he's showing me a heart chakra and he's showing me it very, very green. And he shows you, it says heart health. So I don't know for certain if he crossed from a heart attack or if he actually might be talking to you about your heart health a little bit, because he's also adding the fact that actually heart disease is the #1 killer of women. Did you know that? Nobody does. Everyone thinks it's breast cancer, but no, it's heart disease because women don't recognize it whatsoever. We actually don't get a numbness down here. We get pain in our back. Yeah. That's the same with dehydration too. We get pain in our back. So I hope that helps you in some sort of way. I really do. And if it doesn't, let me know. Okie dokie. Oh, I love this, Penny. You asked for a message from your puppies. I think that's great. Because actually they almost always come with a human coming up behind them because they're like, why are you talking to the dog? But especially since you put puppies, sister, mom, or dad, because honest to goodness, I swear there's an issue with your mom and her being the third on the list. And she wants you to think that's funny. She actually shows you laughing at that because I don't think you meant to put mom third on the list, but she's going to point it out. And I got to tell you, so would I with my children, by the way. I would say with the dog. Okie dokie. Now, sister, that's a whole other story because your sister, I think, might be someone you actually need to hear from, because I think she's actually communicating with you about something, and it might be about people she left behind on her in her immediate world there, or something she used to do. Something she used to do. Okay, she says, I need you to listen to me. Okay, now she's showing me two things. When she says, I need you to listen to me, she's showing me the shower and she's showing me the bathtub. I find that water is very, very helpful. I actually call water a conductor when it comes to communications from the other side. When I can't quite hear what I think I'm supposed to hear, I will go and sit in the salt tub. I don't really stand in the shower because the running water makes me think of the environment and then I start getting stressed out. Blah, 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 blah. It's actually true. But they do come in the shower when I'm having my shower. I do shower, by the way. So I think that is actually, it's either your sister is already communicating with you in those times, those grooming times, or she wants to communicate with you, because I actually think she wants to be two-sistered with you. Like you work here, she works there. And you could be actually moving yourself more forward in your metaphysical knowing, or your, yeah, you're moving forward with your psychic vibrations. That's actually how they want me to put it. And interesting. Do you meditate? Gosh, I hope you do. When you do meditate, I'm actually seeing this thing go up in front of you and you moving back and forth like this. And I've seen people meditate like that. And I've seen this sort of, it almost looks like there is something that is sitting in front of you that's doing this. That's actually what it looks like metal going back and forth, and it's shimmering. So I'm not quite sure if you actually use something when you meditate, or if that is actually a symbol from your sister of what you're creating when you're meditating. There's something in front of you right here. And I don't know if you're actually, I hope that you are actually meditating and visualizing and trying to see some sort of ball or something like this in front of your head. And she's trying to tell you, yeah, we see it too. That's what I really, 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 really hope. But whatever it is that you are doing, I actually think you might want to step it up a touch. You might want to go to the next level. And if it is a meditation that you're doing, to my mind, it's actually, they want you to either go into full on yogic, what's the word I'm looking for, like traditional meditating, where you are silent, you are still, and you are one, or it's chakric, or a little bit of both. I actually think they want you, I don't know that you know how connected you are becoming, and within that, because you actually might be starting to feel a little sick to your stomach. And that I can get sick to my stomach when there's just too much going on. I've actually vomited during psychic fairs. because it just gets clutch. So I think that's what she is trying to say. And she says, we're trying to talk to you. And the reason why she's the one who got to speak is because mom and dad can be really long-winded, and we're trying to be concise because there's a lineup. Sorry, I found that funny. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Now, Carrie, I would love to hear what I need to hear from the one who's been showing me the most signs. What a good ambiguous question. I love it. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Now, before I click on your question, and I have to tell you, because I already know who you are, I get a bias right away. And because I am a big fan, I actually think, wait, I want to, do you have a brother? Is your brother on the other side? Do you have a brother? What's a brother? I don't know what the brother is. There's something about a brother. There's also about okie dokie. I actually think you're hearing somebody is, sometimes we can actually almost hear in our ears. That is almost like 1,000% spirit guides going, hey, pay attention to this. Hey, this is something that we want to talk to you about, or we're right here, or something like that. They're showing that you are actually hearing this, and something really strong is going on. There's something about an opportunity that you need to pay attention to. And I think they go boom, like that. I don't know if it actually has to do with your Instagram feed, but it might have something just to do with what you put on your Instagram feed, which would be your business. But something is cloistered by you. Something is put into like a bit of a tent by you because that's what you think you need to do, which I totally and absolutely get. It would make perfect sense that you would feel as though your business is walk-in or it is pedestrian, that it is something that is local rather than international. And I kind of think that they want you to think about international, because it might be that there might be a market that you're unaware of that is waiting for you or that needs you, or it might even be a product. There's something different coming. There's something new. And I actually think you even know about it, but you might be a little bit nervous to actually it through or expose yourself. And because it's scary. Trust me, my goodness, when I started my YouTube channel, I went through so much paranoia and stress in my stomach for no darn reason, but for the fact that I felt like my butt was in the wind. I was Pooh Bear trying to get out of Rabbit's house. So I get that, because that's the way I can. It looks like self-doubt, though, to be perfectly honest. It looks more like self-doubt than fear of being exposed. But the fear of being exposed, I think, is underneath there, because whenever I see a fear of exposure within our world, I very often see burnings. So, which, yeah, because, scary. Happened not that long ago. All right. Okay, now Deanne would like to know if there's anything from her mom, dad, or grandpa. Oh, your dad. That's interesting. Your dad comes with a book in his hand. When like smart people have a book like this, that's what he's doing, is he's got this book and he's telling us stuff. I see. He's learned things and he wants to tell them to you. I get that. I totally get that, because was your dad like this when he was alive? Would he read something and then he'd tell you what he just read so that you would know something new too? It looks like it. It really, really looks like it. Kind of reminds me a little bit of my dad in that way, that my dad was constantly bringing in new knowledge, but the way that it looks like your dad would bring in new knowledge so that he would have something to tell to you. Not that he had less things to tell to you, but I hope that makes a little bit of sense. So the way the ways of the world is how he puts it. Now, Deanne, I don't know if you meditate or if you write or if you download in some sort of way, but you might actually be having some fanciful ideas running through your head right now that might seem beyond your metaphysical understanding. I actually think that they are the right things for you to be hearing right now. I actually think you need to catch up with you. So, okay, this is a great example. I like that, Daddy. He gave me this example when I was a little girl, and the dead, because they would talk, and it was because they were ahead of me. I didn't know what I was, so I hadn't meditated yet. So I hadn't raised my vibration so that when they would talk, I was still in this slow mode and they were in a fast, 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 fast mode. So I believe that's what your dad is trying to say. You have actually learned some new things and he's bestowed some knowledge on you and he wants to bestow more because he actually shows it like this and he needs to do this. But you have to that doesn't, you have to acknowledge, that's the word. Acquire was the word we kept getting. You have to acknowledge what you have to acknowledge the knowledge, but what if you don't know what the knowledge is? Okay. And because you might be feeling weird or something strange or something like that. So I would actually move into that. You might want to actually, if that is true, if you are feeling weird and strange and a little bit different right now, you actually might want to pay more attention to you, do more stuff for you, because that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing you treat yourself like you are rehabilitating. They're showing, why I say rehabilitating is they're showing me all the things I did after one of my surgeries. So it's something like that, which is really odd. But there's this therapist I heard about. I'm not sure who it is. If you guys know who it is, please put it in the comments. But they said people should actually give themselves sick weeks. Like pretend you're actually sick, put yourself in bed, take massive care of yourself for a week when you're not sick. And I think that's a tremendous idea. And I plan on doing it. I'm a workaholic, so I can try, but I'm going to try. One of these days, I'm going to try to do that. I'm going to really try to do that, but that'll be very difficult for me. I don't know if that would be difficult for you, Deanne, but it's actually what they want you to do. And if you're like me and that would be actually a bit of a challenge for you, then do it to the best of your ability. Do it in a way that can make you feel balanced, because when we shut up and when we lay down or when we just be, we hear better. We hear so much better. That's why they talk when we look at ourselves in the mirror or we meditate or we take care of ourselves, because then we're concentrating on ourselves and our points are right here. And therefore they can actually talk to us. They can access us. When our energy is all over everything that we see in front of us, well, we can barely access ourselves. So how could they? I hope that makes sense. I feel like I went all over the place. Excuse me. Okie dokie. Now, Lisa, I hope that I answered your question earlier, because I think I did. I hope I'm right. Okie dokie. Sue's family is going through a court case, and she wants to know if I see a positive outcome. Okie dokie. I see balloons. So balloons to me would seem like, when you text congratulate or happy birthday to someone, poof, the balloons come in your text message. I think maybe that might be an Apple thing. I don't know. That is actually what I'm seeing. They also show everyone going, hold your breath. When they tell people to hold their breath, there is no danger of them dying from holding their breath. So when they tell someone to hold their breath, they're trying to tell them that it won't be long. It'll be quick. I hear it'll be easy. How's that? See it being easy. Feel that it's going to be easy. So actually tell yourself that that what you want to have happen will happen. Don't look at the details. Just look at the big picture and the end result. Okie dokie. I hope that works. I hope that helps. Sorry. Okie dokie. This is a very good question. Leanne would like to know, and I hope I pronounced your name correctly, why don't I get visits from my loved ones who pass in my dreams? Okie dokie. The first thing I hear is because they're not able to. That is the first thing I hear. I actually hear your dreams are like a steel trap. And, okay. How do you know we're not there? That's actually what I just heard, and I was supposed to say it to you like that. I don't know if you have a sibling on the other side. This feels very siblingish, very, very siblingish, because now they're doing this. They are there, but maybe they come to you in a different way. That's actually the way they're putting it. This is so siblingish, because it's just like, like that. So, okay. Sometimes the way that this particular person from the other side is showing it is that they show themselves being next to you, but you not being able to actually see them and doing this a little bit. Okie dokie. That's interesting. Huh. Well, that doesn't, okay. They actually show that if you saw them in your dream, your brain would go, what are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here. You're not. This isn't where you are. That's actually that you would not actually be able to justify their presence in your dream. I hope that makes sense, but it's a weird way of putting it. But that's actually what they want me to say, that quite possibly if they showed themselves to you in your dreams, you wouldn't see them anyways because you don't think they're alive. It's such a weird thing that I just said. It's a super weird thing that I just said because this is actually something that I hear from a lot of people. Why can't I see them in my dreams? And just like actually, just like Leanne right now, what I see is you looking this way and your loved one looking this way. That actually they are in your dreams, but you're having your dream, you're doing your thing. It's kind of like when you're awake, they're right there as well. When you're making your bed, quite possibly your grandmother could be standing in your room. And you might be thinking about your grandmother at the time, thinking about a time you had with her. That was really nice. Maybe you actually start to get really sad about it, or maybe you get happy about it. It's because she's in the room. So our dreams are very, very, very similar. But if we're not accustomed to knowing how to control the dreams, then how do we know to turn around? I would actually put it to them. This is their fault, not yours, completely and absolutely. And I believe that because right from the get-go, they told me it was their fault, not yours. I kind of think too that maybe throughout the years, I don't know if your family is is ensconced in a religion or a faith that does not actually see this as a possibility, or they could see it as a possibility of something very sinister because some faiths do. So it could be that, but your family, your loved ones actually make it look like it's not that it's not available to you. It's just not something that the family talks about, or it's part of it or something. I don't know what that means. It could be that everyone that's on the other side doesn't realize quite how to do it for you because they all don't know how to do these things for you. It's quite different. I had 3 people die last year, and all 3 communicate incredibly differently and at different levels of communication. Because if you go over there knowing you can, then you will, and you'll figure it out because that is what your brain tells you can do. If you're like my father and you go over there as an atheist, you got a hill to climb. You got to figure out what the devil first. I got to figure out the fact that there's a God. Oh my Lord. And what the devil, oh my Lord, that's funny. Anywho, so it can be different for different people. So give them a little bit of time. And I actually think they are there. It's just the turnarounds, the things like that have to happen, and maybe more acknowledgement when you're awake. Maybe the scenario that I told you about might be a scenario that is an example to you, and then therefore you can use that as a jumping off point. I hope that makes some sort of sense. Okie dokie. Now, Kirsty, we did already talk, but you said please. No, because I know. Okay, no, I don't know. I empathize. Okay. I actually hear, and I hear, Mommy, I'm okay. I think you need to know. Oh, geez, Lou. Okay. So sometimes the emotions between people actually come between me. And I have to push them a little bit aside. This is a really tough one. It's a really, really tough one because I can see what she's doing. And she's doing that. And she's saying, Mommy, I'm okay. So she's giving you the up, that they all do. And she's telling you she's okay at the same time. And I think she's giving you the up and telling you she's okay because then you can take her and bring her close to your heart. Because I think that's important. And I'm sorry that I am having an emotional time with it, but I feel it very, very strongly. Okie dokie. That's what I feel. Squishy. I want to squish you. I want to squish you. I want to squish you. And I love you. And I don't know if there's an actual teddy bear that symbolizes her. But she's squishing it. She's showing it. And I don't even know if it's squishy and it squishes, but there's so much squishing going on. Ay vey. And you're right. I'm supposed to tell you you're right. It is her. There is an adult that hangs out with her. He's a grandfather. I don't know if he is her grandfather. Grandpa. I said grandfather. I think he is on her dad's side, or he's on a dad side. I believe it's actually quite possibly her father's grandfather, honestly, her great grandfather. That's what I would assume from what I'm seeing. But the personification he gives is the same as a drawing that I did once of my mother's father. So I have to tell you that as well, because every detail counts, and it's not up to me to decide which ones make sense and which ones don't, because they all actually do make sense, just whether or not they make sense to us. Okie dokie. She's putting butter on her little feet. And that it could mean so many things. It reminds me of when we butter the feet of cats. But she also butters her feet and then she slides, because that's fun. So it could just be that she's showing, I'm having fun. It could be. I hope that I hope that, if anything could, helps. All right. Hello, Melissa. Hello, Mariah. Okay, Mariah, these are very questions. I like these questions. These are neat. She's from the UK, and she wants to know if her son will get admission to Cambridge. Wow. And will she lose her job? The first thing I heard was not lose, maybe give up. Because it might be that you actually want to lose your job, or that you want to do something different. And I don't know if you live near Cambridge, but it might be that you got it in your head that you want, if your son goes to Cambridge, you want to be close to him. I get that completely, because they're showing me that. I've got kids that go to university, and so often I think, oh, I should live in their back pocket. But there's 3 of them, and I can't cut myself into 3s. So, Neff. Okie dokie. Now I get it. Thank you, Lisa. Okay. So, okay. So when I ask, I hear Cambridge is a go. That's what I heard. Cambridge is a go, and lose your job if you want to. Those are the 2 things they say to answer those questions. Right. Okay. Also too, they show your son putting all his eggs into one basket. And I'm not sure that he needs to, because honest to goodness, I actually see Oxford, and then they might be showing me Oxford, because if you're not going to Oxford, you're going to Cambridge in my brain, and I'm Canadian. So those are the 2 I know. I'm sure there's more than 2 universities of note in the United Kingdom. Everyone knows that there's probably 17,000 universities of note in the United Kingdom. But all the eggs into one basket, they say don't mean a thing. And then they show me a TV show that used to be on that I would watch, where everyone was supposed to have gone to this one school that was a member of this law firm. Yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about. But anywho, they're showing that with the circle and the cross through it. So what they're trying to tell you there is, I believe, that it doesn't absolutely have to be Cambridge. If it is, then huzzah. But it doesn't have to, because no matter what school your son goes to, his career path and his success are already written in stone. They actually show it like it's written in stone, like whatever he's going to do is actually something he's meant to do. He's following a calling. And I don't know if your son's is exceptionally brilliant, but they show something coming out of his head. He looks like a unicorn. Yeah, he might be a bit of a unicorn. So a unicorn, well, we all know what a unicorn is. There's somebody that doesn't turn up everywhere. It's like surprising. Look at this. There's a unicorn. Holy cow, it's 5 o'clock. Okie dokie. I'll keep going. But I got to go at some time, because it's my friend's birthday, and I have to go to her house and give her a happy birthday present. Honestly, that's actually what I have to do, because friends are important. Like, so important. Okie dokie. Neff. Okay. Yeah, this is Lisa. The Neff has been on the island for 4 years. I hear no time soon, and they're fine. That they're living their best life. Yeah. And it's like a cat. if you go to try to grab a cat, the cat's going to run because it doesn't know what you're going to do when you get it. And that's its go-to, run, run, run. If you put food out and you slowly but surely allow the cat to gain your trust again, allow yourself to gain the cat's trust, then slowly the cat will come back to you. That's actually what they wanted. Enough's a cat. Okie dokie. Hello, Louise. Hello, Renee. Oh, okay. Renee. Okie dokie. Well, I don't know if he was the orchestrator of his own passing, if he passed due to his own hand, but he's kind of making it look like that a little bit. But at the same time, very often when a younger person passes, we kind of like, we can see all the things that actually they could have not done that might have helped them to not have that fate. And that's one of the things that because he's, it's no fault of anybody else's own. I don't know if his father actually feels some sort of fault or some sort of like, what did I couldn't have, or I did, and some sort of out of his reach, but nothing could be further from the truth. In fact, it was nothing his father did, apparently. It could be seen as such, or we could dig deep in, but that's not something he wants us to do. He would like his passing to not be a scar and like right now it looks like a seething wound that's deep and it's really gross and it's red and it's seething. He does not want that. He wants his passing to be more like a tattoo on the skin, meaning that it's something that is commemorative and it's something we learn from. And I don't know that. How was his mind? I don't know how his mind was. I'm actually, part of me wants to say he might have schizophrenia, which seems kind of severe. But yeah, it's. Okie dokie. It could be that you guys are finding now that there are many aspects to him that you didn't quite know about. It could be that. It could very well be that. I also, he's doing stuff in your house to let you know that he is there. I think you notice it, or you will say something and he's thanking you for that. I think you might actually put his picture up, or you might in some way constantly keep his memory alive. You may have put a meal out for him at Christmas dinner. If you did not, he wants one at Easter, please. Or I don't know if you're Catholic. Is there a Lent dinner? I don't know. I know that they're all in around the same time. If you put a meal out for them, it's as much as saying that you want to feed them on the other side, that they're still a member of the family, and they are welcome to come and join in the meal. Okie dokie. And he is saying that he wants his dad to talk to him. He wants his dad to stop ignoring him so much. Something about rainbows. He shows rainbows, or there's a rainbow. Maybe he was gay. I'm not quite sure, because sometimes the rainbows actually usually symbolize it's always darkest before the dawn, meaning that at the plot there's a rainbow after every storm. Rainbows mean that things are going to be okay. That's usually what they mean, but the way he popped it in at the end, and he put it in like a rainbow with two clouds on either side of, like on each end. So it looks like the stickers we put on our cars. So that's why I went to where I went. That's why I went to his sexuality. Sorry. Okie dokie. Now, okie dokie. Yeah. He says, tell dad to talk to me and he'll feel all right. That seems like a lot to say, actually. Okie dokie. Now, okay. I know I said I was going to try to get to everyone, but holy Hannah, there's a lot of people. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Oh, Christy was cut off. I see. That's why you came back. Okie dokie. Hello, Ruth. I did not say hello to you. Hello, Maya. I said Maya. I meant to say just Maya. Hello, Maya. Hello, Chris. Okie dokie. There are so many people that I have not gotten to, and it's already 5. Okay, I'm going to try to do. Okay, I'm going to try to do 7 more. And I hope I get to everybody. Okay. Okie dokie. I'm so glad Brienne. Brienne is crystal shopping and meditating and pulling cards out of woman. Good job, Brienne. Excellent, Brienne. Well done, Brienne. Okie dokie. Hello, Jossie. Okay, Brenda. I think, okay. I'm sorry, Brenda. I talked to you already, but I will answer another one if I have enough time. Amber Smith, I never notice signs from my people. Maybe I'm not paying enough attention. Or it could even be that, Amber, your people are giving you different kinds of signs. That actually sometimes they don't give us the signs we're looking for. They give us the signs they think will land. Yeah. Well, think about how often your relatives actually buy you presents they think you're going to love. Yeah. Anyway, we don't always know what other people are thinking or what other people expect. So you might want to, instead of looking for signs, ask for them. Ha, that's right. Good. Thank you. Okie dokie. So I'm going to go down. Okay. And I'm going to find someone new who I haven't answered yet. Okie dokie. Zena. I hope I'm saying your name right either way what I say it, and I apologize for not being able to pronounce your name properly if I did not pronounce your name properly. They show you reaching for the top shelf right up here. You might be quite used to reaching for things right here because they're, oh no, you reach for things down there. A lot of us do that, but you actually might start needing to reach higher. Your reaching down there actually might be genetic. It might be something you learn from your childhood from watching the people around you, or it might be what your family does. They might actually ask for less for themselves. They want you to go higher, and the going higher actually might have to do with something with academia or career choice or ability. Those are the 3 words that I get. So, and they say it would make sense for you because it would speak to something that's going on right now. That's how they want me to put it. Gosh, I hope that makes sense. That was very. Hello, Ruth. Okie dokie. The thyroid is causing increased hoarseness and discomfort. And yes, Lori, when I speak of your dad, I am speaking of him from the other side. Because when I see people from the other side hanging out with us, I actually just see people hanging out with us. I don't see it any other way, but that they are right there. But I know when they aren't there, I'm not there because they have a slight opaqueness when I see them. So yeah, I knew that, but he's showing that he's all part of that. They don't stop doing stuff with us when they cross over. They're actually even more powerful than they were before. Okie dokie. Now, Ruth would like to know if there's anything she needs to know about her future. Manifest it. That's actually what I hear. Manifest it. They actually want you to be a participant. That's the word I want to give you because your spirit guides are harsh. They are really harsh. Like I think you know this. And I think you're aware that whatever it is that you want to have in your future, all you have to do is say, this is what I want, put this in front of me. And therefore it will be in the way that you want it to be. That doesn't mean if you say, I want $1 million, put it in front of me. They're going to be like, what do you want the $1 million for? That's what you got to manifest. Am I making sense? So what you want, manifest. I actually think you want to move. I think you want a different location. I think you want to look at different things all the time right now. And you might not, I think you kind of feel like there's too much behind you or it's trapped or something like that. Yeah, I actually think you might want to move to Bay City, British Columbia. So what I hear is go for it. Because they actually want you to act first and ask questions later. Shoot first, ask questions later. Is that what they call it? Yeah, something like that. But yeah, which sounds a little nerve-wracking and scary, but it might be something, if you think too much, then you won't do it. It's like if I stand at the end of a diving board, if I think so much about the fact that I'm going to plummet, I might not do it. If I just go poof and I'm going down. I'm in here. So I will do it because I've already done it. I hope that makes sense. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. No, Amber has had some scary things and spirits need to come through for me. Please, guys. Big, scary changes in life. Okie dokie. Right there. They want you to change that. They want you to say, huge, exciting changes are coming to me right now. That's actually the way they want you to see it. I totally get it. I do. I totally get it. It's really strange, but this is the example. It's not the example I would have used. If you are in a car and you're stopped at a red light and you happen to look in the rearview mirror and see someone coming up and they are about to rear end you, you're actually going to receive a worse injury than if you didn't know it was going to happen. Now, why they wanted me to say that to you is because they said the anticipation of what is about to happen looking in the rearview mirror will actually worsen the injury. I understand that. That's why drunks walk away from so many accidents, because they don't know what the hell's going on and their bodies are all languid and such. So I think what they're trying to say to you is this is a huge, exciting time. Change brings new things. That's how they want you to actually see it. It's the way that you're talking about it that is actually keeping them from you, because you're going, scary blah 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 bloop, and they're yelling in your ear. Say it a different way. Do it a different way. We're not responding to that. We're over here saying this. I hope that makes sense. Sounds a little like I'm being a jerk, actually, and I'm sorry, but it's what I was told to say to you. Okie dokie. Linda, I will read that in a minute, but okie dokie. Often I make a comment. If you click on it, it will explain to you what it means. Okay. Preeclampsia. That's it. You're right, Brianne. Preeclampsia. That's what it is. I knew it started with a P, and I knew the toxemia was wrong, and I knew it was a Zia at the end. Thank you, Brianne. Preeclampsia is when you get all swollen in your feet and legs when you are preggers. Thank you, Brianne. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Now, Marissa would like messages from anyone who was crossed over. Ambiguous at best, but it's okay, actually, Marissa. Okay, keep doing what you need to do. I don't like whatever it is that you're doing. It might be actually, you may want to stop. They show it like you're carrying a bunch of stuff. You're trying to get from point A to point B, but you can't even see where point B is. And the stuff is becoming too heavy. You have to keep stopping and resting. That is so ambiguous. Sakes alive. I think what they're trying to say there is that, okay, yeah, you're carrying too much with you. It's not, you can't get to where you're going because you're bringing too much stuff with you to where you're going. You might need to let some stuff go. You might need to relax some things a little bit. I don't know if actually you're a person who has children who are older now, but it actually might have to do with that, to be perfectly honest. You might be carrying other people's things and then therefore not able to see what is coming for you. That's really strange to come from the other side, actually, but it might not even be from the other side. That might be spirit guidey. Absolutely, that might be spirit guidey. Okie dokie. I'm going to do 3 more, and I'm so sorry that I'm going to do only 3 more, but I'll be back. It's not like this is the last time I'm ever going to be on here. My goodness gracious, I come every Sunday. Okie dokie. Oh, I see. Okie dokie. I see. Ashley. We'll talk, Ashley. I promise. Yes. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Now, Amber, did I talk to you yet, Amber? Because you have just said nothing for me, I guess. Oh, okie dokie. Yes, we did talk. Oh, we did talk. Okay. Okie dokie. Maya. Okie dokie. Now, Maya's in New Zealand. Oh, that's not Maya. Maya's in New Zealand. Okie dokie. Apparently, you're being guided here. It's in your heart. It's in your chest. You might be clairsentient. You might feel things. And it might actually be something that's going on right now. You might have a certain feeling in your chest that you just can't let go of. And that actually might be the guidance for you. Um, you also might be coughing a lot, which is really when I need to get something off my chest, I actually have to clear my throat and cough a lot. And then I know that I actually have to get something off my chest. Um, but your guidance comes within your body. It comes with feelings that are presented to you. It comes actually also too, like you can look at something and then have a feeling evoked by seeing something, and you'll probably attach it to a memory and go, blah, 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 and that's logical. But they actually want, sometimes they will go, and this is what we want you to feel. They want you to remember this. And that's how they talk to you. Actually, that's how they talk to you about what's going on around you. A lot of them will do strange little things like that. And honest to goodness, if you want to hear more and more clearly from your guides and from people on the other side, meditate. You got to meditate. You got to do the work, honestly. You really, really, really do. If I did not meditate, well, I would probably be, it wouldn't be good. They'd be pumping me through drugs if I didn't meditate, because I would not be able to make sense of this. And if I did not meditate and actually make it so only certain people are allowed to come in and talk in my brain, then it would be a barrage of negativity constantly. It would be all the negative energies, because they come first and the good ones come second. But if you have people on the other side, they can protect you from that. So, wow, I feel like I'm going all over the place, and I am. Okie dokie. Oh, interesting. So Kate feels that it was her papa, not her dad, that came through, which might be that I felt the papa energy, or that guy came through just to let me know, because he may have brought dad, or even talking for dad. I hope. I don't know. I can't remember it. Okie dokie. Now, Carrie. Okie dokie. Keep doing what you do. That's actually what they say. And then pivot yeah, they want you to listen. I actually think you hear, but they want you to, there's something they're telling you that you might be ignoring, or you might be like, no, I don't think that's what I wanted. That there's something going on. There's something, it's weird. And it might be something you don't want to know. It might be something you don't want to know. I might have to do with a fella. And it might be an inkling that you're having, or a thought that you're having, and you don't want to think that's true. I totally get that. Yeah, because we can lie to ourselves until we can't lie no more. And it's weird too, because it looks like there's something here and there's something here, and this is the communication coming through. That's really strange, really, really, really strange. And I hope that it makes some sort of sense to you. It's really strange. Yeah, in fact, actually, I would even characterize it as though it is a golden light coming in towards you. So it could very well be that a higher something is trying to talk to you, and you may not want to hear what they want to say. That's actually what I'm supposed to say. What's going on? I don't know. Okie dokie. 2 more, and I'm so sorry, but 2 more, and I'm going to try to talk to people I haven't talked to. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. I see. Okie dokie. So Tatiana has a very long question, so I'm gonna pop it on there. I should get rid of Carrie's. But okie dokie. She is wanting to. Okay, has there been anything? If Jeff has anything to tell her, and I do believe Jeff does. I believe Jeff was a tortured soul. I believe that Jeff heard more than Jeff could tell anyone else, and I think that Jeff may have been like that. I think something like that may have gone on with Jeff. Was he your husband? I think he was your husband. That might make sense with Wilfred. I do what you need to do, and actually do what you need to do. You're in a physical world, and Jeff is not in a physical world, and things are making sense to me. That is what Jeff says. They didn't before, And now he would like a do-over. Now that he knows, he would like a do-over, but who would want to? That's what he says, which I get it. Jeff obviously is in a good spot on the other side because Jeff sees that coming back over here would suck. So he wants to stay there. Jeff says he loves you. And why would I want to rob anything from you? That's what Jeff says as well. I kind of feel as though Jeff robbed you of him. Okay. Do what you need to do, but don't leave. I think the connection, and because, okay. Yeah, okay. What Jeff is showing me is Jeff is showing me a client that I have who has a husband here and a husband on the other side who crossed a while ago. And they're showing me that even though it was a decade ago that her first husband crossed over, the connection is still lovely in there. And she has another husband who she has children with, and that connection is lovely in there. That's what he is showing me. That like he can be in all places at all times. There is no time to him. He wants you to feel the same thing about you. That I love that, Jeff. That's beautiful. So when our loved ones come to visit us, my father could come visit me, and he could come visit my sister and my mother and my other sister all at the same time, because our concept of time only exists right here. It does not exist for them. So what Jeff is trying to tell you is that the time that your time with Jeff is precious and wonderful and lovely. And it is that. And it never actually stops existing. But if you had time with another human being, that would exist simultaneously. That is what I believe he's trying to tell you. And I think that's beautiful. I really, really do. And I hope I have this somewhat right. And I hope that that brings you some peace. Okie dokie. One more. Okie dokie. Hello, Mandy. Hello, Marie. Okay. We're going with Erwin. Okay, Erwin. Okay, one of the things I'm seeing, and I hope this is helpful. I'm seeing my second pregnancy. And in my second pregnancy, in my second pregnancy, I was certain that this child actually was a boy up until I was 8.5 months pregnant. I got incredibly ill. And before this, actually, my doctor was always worried about it. That's why we were sure it was a boy, because the heart was so slow, the movement was so it seemed strange. Anytime I went for an ultrasound with this pregnancy, nobody could tell me the gender of this child because they would move and you would only see the butt, which now that I know this human being, that makes perfect sense to me. They thought that this pregnancy actually self-terminated twice, maybe 3. I think it was twice. It was a very, very stressful time. What I did come to find out is in that 2-week time when I got sick, that is when I vomited for 8 hours straight and went into early labor. They stopped my labor. And after they stopped my labor, I realized that it was now a girl. It was a different kid. I'm not kidding. I know that sounds weird. I know it sounds super duper weird, but I was so certain that every time I would change this little girl's diaper, I was certain to find the penis somewhere detached to put back on. So I believe, because this child is oddly psychic, very, very psychic. I know it's weird for me to have a psychic child. All 3 of my children are psychic, but this particular child has it in a way like I had it, so that it is an obstruction to her mental health sometimes. And I believe that she needed to be born, and she needed to come here, and she needed to have me as a mommy. And that is why she switched places with her brother, because he came right after her. He came 16 months later. So I believe that she switched because I might not have had a third child if I had had my boy second. That is what I see with you. I am seeing right now that your bed rest, everything is that quite possibly this child that you're carrying is too much for your physical body. They actually might have an energy so huge that your organs actually almost shut down in the face of it. That I actually even think that your pregnancy might feel very heavy and like that. That I don't know if you have a 15-pound baby in you, but it sure looks like it. And it looks like their amniotic fluid is made of steel, for goodness sakes. They look heavy and they actually make you look humongous right now. You look like you're taking up most of the bed. I'm sure you're not. And you're probably not feeling like your amniotic fluid is steel. Maybe you are at this moment, but I'm not that. So what they want you to do is take this time to get to know the little human being that is still inside of you right now. They want you to read to them, and they want, okay, they're showing. I read my children, I don't have them handy. I read them a bunch of books about people who had experiences with angels. That's what I would read to them when they were in the womb. And when I didn't read that, I played classical music. They want me to tell you that as well. And, okay, with this kid, they actually almost make it look like you read reference material, because I believe very strongly that the children can hear us inside, and whatever you try to instill when they are still inside of you, part of your body, you actually are able to do so. And I actually think that the powers that be, have put you on bed rest because this child requires a little bit more like that. They might test you in the most wonderful ways. So they want you to see this as an opportunity to have just you and baby time. And just think, the baby doesn't cry right now. It doesn't need to breastfeed and tear your nipples to bits. And it's not pooping its pants. It's always in one place. Enjoy it. Enjoy it right now because, well, you might, I don't know if this is your second, but like it gets haywire. Anywho, so that's what they would like you to do. They actually want you to revel in it and love it and let go of the anxiety and see it as though the powers that be are protecting you and your baby, not pointing out a problem with you and your baby. I hope that makes sense, and I hope that is helpful. One more, and I mean this with love. Okay. Excellent. Okie dokie. Divya, I think that is your name. Divya, I believe. Okie dokie, Divya. I'm supposed to say, I see your mom and so do you. I think you actually see her all the time. Do you ever think you actually see her in public? I used to have those things with my dad every now and again where I was like, did I just say, like, you almost lose your mind? But then my sisters did too, but she's showing me something like that. Like it's either that or she's everywhere all the time and constantly turning up. And she gives you signs like crazy. She's telling, it's a lot of work doing this stuff. But she is willing to do it for you. Do you have a brother? Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Your mom says, I love you. Pursue psychology. That's what she says. Now, are you interested in sociology as well as psychology? Or is your psychology based within a socioeconomic ideology? These are the words I'm getting. I'm getting socio, like I'm not sociopath. Sociology is, I think people are your focus. And I think that you are very, 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 very interested in the way the mind works. Your mom doesn't want you to let go of the idea of metaphysics. And I'm actually seeing a person meditating, and I see them sideways, and I can see they're showing me the spine. And I believe very much all of our spirituality is on the spine, and that each chakra obviously clicks into the spine. The nadis do. The energy all travels up it. There's a little all the way down. So I'm seeing that with you. So it actually might be they want you to expand your horizons a little bit. You got the brains. Why not do it? And I think as well that if you just go degree in psychology, you might be one of many voices. But if you do a sociology, psychology, something like that, where the way that people actually affect each other, which I think is an immensely important, then they say it's a well-rounded career. That's actually what they say. Huh. Well, okie dokie. Also, too, change your shoes. I don't know if you have bunions or bad feet or your feet hurt or something, but you might want to change your shoes or look at your feet. And then the other thing they actually show me about your feet, before I became a yogi, I actually used to wear out my shoes on the outside because unbeknownst to me, I was actually walking on the outside of my foot. When I became a yogi, I started walking on the triangle that your foot creates. There might be something like that. You actually might walk on the back of your foot or something. You might want to look at where you wear your feet out. And then reteach yourself how to stand. I had to at like the age of 28. So yeah, all possibilities. Okie dokie. I hope that makes some sort of sense. Oh, your mom loves you. She tells you so all the time. You can actually hear her singing in your head. Or she sings, there's a song in your head. Okie dokie. She actually, it might be something that you guys made up. Might be kind of like Soft Kitty with Sheldon. Okie dokie. Okie doke. All right. Well, everyone that I didn't get to, I am so sorry I did not get to you, and I will try to get to you the next time I do this. I'm not sure if it's going to be Erin and I next week. It might be. We're just figuring out our new format, but we might do a pre-recorded. We will let you know by Tuesday, I swear. Thank you so much for all the questions and for everyone who came. I hope for those that I did answer questions for that I was helpful, and for those that I didn't get to, I highly apologize. But every Sunday we'll be back. Okie dokie. All right. Thank you everyone for coming, and thank you so much for all of your comments, all your questions, and for being part of this. I absolutely, well, I'm so very, very grateful, because if I didn't have you, oh my gosh. Okie dokie. So, namaste. Goodbye. Thank you.